So teachers should be assessed every 5 years. And I'm going to read a specific quote from the North Greenville Education Handbook. And it says, learners are teachers committed to their own personal and professional development by incorporating into all teaching experiences the application of current research on instruction and learning. And there's a motto at North Greenville where teacher candidates who are successful teachers are effective practitioners, caring leaders, and lifelong learners. So what is a lifelong learner? Let's think about it. Is it someone who is continuously learning in life? Is it someone who is only maybe striving for a specific goal, who is striving for a specific task and then they're done learning? Or is it someone who is continuously staying to up to new ideas, discovering new things, wanting to make sure that they're always on top of it, given doing the best in their career, whatever their career may be. I use a source. It's called the Art of Education University, and they have two ways of a lifelong learner can be, formal and informal. So formal is more of like someone who is going for their master's or for their doctorate, more higher education, or someone who is taking 1 or 2, 3 maybe online courses during their time, maybe during while their career is, or maybe during a break that they have in their life. If you're a teacher, maybe summer break or fall Christmas break, one of the two. But informal is one where you have someone who is reaching out to a colleague or reaching out to another teacher, someone that they can just go to and ask for advice, maybe something that's dealing with classroom management or something that's dealing with a content area. How do you teach this specific subject in this classroom? How can I incorporate maybe different teaching strategies to help my students learn better with this specific subject? My other topic that I want to discuss is the what's the purpose behind this testing? Well, let's see if new technology, new information, new discoveries are being made. Maybe there's not a lot being made in 1 year. Maybe there's not enough in 2 or 3 years. Let's say 5 years, because that obviously gives them a lot of feet in the ground that they've had. They've been able to dip their toes in the water a lot longer, whatever career it may be. As teachers, you've been in there teaching for a lot longer. You've gone through your first 2 or 3 years of evaluation. Now let's see if you're going to continue to keep learning, maybe pushing yourself to be a better educator. So we're doing it in 5 years. That allows us to possibly see if there's any new technology that's been out that teachers could be evaluated on, see if they're using it, see if they're focusing on it at all. There was a source by Skit Sace. Is their motto is "Your education is our business." Education is evolving, is what they said. It's used to be classrooms where we use chalk, but now it's we have tablets and we have big old monitors on the wall with a touch screen, and you can throw up a lot of things on the screen for people to see. You can type from it, you can touch it, you can draw on it. I mean, you can do anything you want really on it. You can access YouTube from it. But this right here is, are our teachers being equipped to know how to use this information? Are they being taught by their supervisors, or are they being told that they have to figure out themselves? And that's a question up in the air. It depends on the location, I guess. But we want to make sure that our teachers are doing their very best and knowing this information. So assessing them in 5 years and allowing this technology to get in their roots, and for them to dip their toes in the water and see how this stuff works is always good. And I wouldn't really say that we're wanting to test them to see if they will fail or anything. But we want to test them to see if they're continuously learning. A quote from a neurologist by the name of Jurg Kelsenly. He said, "Lifelong learning is a key way of sorry, the light is just bothering me, of maintaining optimal brain health." Okay, so you have optimal brain health. Your brain is supposed to grow. Your brain, sometimes we don't use information that we've had for 10 years, and we kind of like lose it. So we have to fill that space with something. And that's how our brain works. We take in so much knowledge and we try and use it and dip it in little areas here and there. And as a musician, if I don't practice something, then I'm not able to use it. So then I lose that technique, I lose that talent. As an educator, if I'm not practicing how to teach rhythm or teach ear pitch that I've learned from North Greenville being in the department, I will lose it. So I have to continuously be doing that. I have to be doing something that's pushing me in the education realm. So if I'm not doing it, then I'll lose the stuff. So then I have to go back and teach myself it all over again. So we're wanting, it's good brain health for us to continuously teaching ourselves. Earlier I mentioned failing. We don't want our teachers to fail. And so one thing is that I've asked what if a teacher does this assessment and they do fail? Well, students fail all the time in classrooms. We don't kick them out for no reason. So if a teacher fails the assessment, you can kind of, I mean, however the assessment's being done, it can be done in, as a large county like Greenville County, it can be done like Spartanburg County, where there's the districts in between, and the superintendent's over each district. So the superintendent kind of bases the assessment off of just that district, like District 1. So that right there could be a good way of it being done. If, I mean, there's opposing views on this, of course. If you have some teachers who want to be assessed and some teachers who wouldn't want to be assessed. I mean, if someone's been teaching for 20 years and they've kind of been staying on the same 20-year path that they've been doing, using the same information, then how do we know if they're actually staying up to date with it? If we walk into the classroom, they're using the new technology, or they're understanding it. So us assessing them for 5 years allows them to have that done, and allows them to be able to check that off and be like, okay, well, I'm continuously learning. Now let's say that they failed the first assessment. Well, we can say, as if I was the superintendent, an example of to take care of the situation is, you could say that the superintendent would evaluate the 6th year, all right, and then he'll evaluate the 8th year, and the 10th year you'd be reassessed again. That's 2 years. That's 2 set assessments, 5 years each. And if it continues to keep going, and he sees a pattern of you not continuously learning, then you have to start questioning: is this teacher really want to be a teacher, or are they kind of just like trying to get a paycheck? Because that's not what we want, of course. But I'm not going to go down that road. So we've discussed what a lifelong learner is. We've discussed what the purpose of this testing would be, as in what are we trying to get at, and then we discussed, if you fail, what happens. It's all opinionated, it really is. I'm not trying to persuade you, I'm trying to persuade everybody that we should be, as teachers, should be assessed. We should be pushed beyond our boundaries. And I think a 5-year time difference, timeline, is a good option. I think it's better than a year every year, because then you have a lot of things weighing over teachers' heads. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate you watching. I hope that this gave you some insight on what I think about how teachers should be assessed, if they should be. And I hope that you have a great evening. Thank you.